hulilo nika honua, okea uika hulilo le kalani, okalipo, okalipo kala, okalipo kapo, o maleho I hanau kapo, hanau kumulipo I kapo he.
नमस्ते, मेरा नाम डिकन है और मैं इंडिया गुजरात अहमदाबाद से हूँ और मेरी उम्र है 32 साल।
And almost 10 years ago, we started with Nomad's business school with the idea that it should be the best business school for the world instead of the world.
So where we are, we're doing project. It's named Swagyan. Swagyan, it means finding our own wisdom, our own knowledge through people, through practices. And Gandhiji used to call about like to connect with our own self, it's self-meditation. To connect with each other, it's love.
So my project is, it's kind of still emerging. It arrived from the pain of education, the normal education.
So we wanted to change the way of doing business and starting business, especially because most of the time it's all about numbers. It's not about people.
I was spending most of my time in school learning things that I knew, they were taught in the past, from the past, and they were supposed to prepare me for something that no one knows what is going to happen. And I found that this contradiction was kind of crazy. And this is like the education? What so crazy?
Nós viemos de uma escola democrática e nessa escola a gente já trabalha a educação de uma forma diferente. A gente não tem aula, a gente não tem prova e durante uma conversa com essas outras duas pessoas a gente começou a se questionar que tipo de faculdade a gente queria fazer, para onde a gente queria ir depois da escola. E aí a gente acabou falando que a gente não queria ir para essa universidade padrão. A gente queria sair da escola, a gente queria começar a trabalhar, aprofundar os nossos estudos, mas a gente não queria ir para uma universidade. E aí, na nossa escola, sempre falam pra gente que a gente pode fazer, a gente vai até onde a gente quer, a gente pode fazer todos os nossos sonhos, então a gente falou, por que não fazer uma universidade? E desde o começo de 2018, a gente tem conversado, a gente tem se reunido com professores, com os pais, com outros jovens que querem isso. E a gente começou, no começo de 2018, a formar esse projeto.
Simply being. So it's a name of this project. It's also the temple of being. How you can allow yourself to in a state of being. Because first question we ask each other, what you're doing? But we are not human doings. We are human beings.
And almost 10 years ago, we started with Nomad's business school with the idea that it should be the best business school for the world instead of the world.
And I think what's difficult now, for example, that we're trying to transition into the masters, is how do we still make it a quality program, but not using the type of measurements of quality that mainstream academia uses it. So we want to give people the title of masters, but at the same time, we know that this kind of title is worthless in real society. So we want to prepare people to have the skills in practice and not just in theory, but at the same time kind of give them the opportunity to use the title, because current society still discriminates based on education.
So the idea behind it is that we have three main questions where we're working around, which is who am I, what is my story, and what do I want to put into the world.
And started the journey of what is it really? What is my place in this world? What is the gift that I have to give and to learn? And how can with others, because I would see all of my friends in university feeling really torn, really depressed in university. I have to do this, and this, and not really It was almost like separating life from learning. And I would imagine all these millions of young people finishing university and then being thrown into life. And they've been out of touch with their own lives, their inner life and their outer life for most of their years. So for me, that felt like this is the most dangerous thing for autonomy. This is the most dangerous thing for self-sovereignty. This is, of course, why we have governments that continue to be elected, that destroy their own people, that destroy their own country, because we are not. It's like we're not producing adults that have power in the world. We're taking away the power.
So every program is a different program because there's different people in it. So the first month we had a kind of fixed program because people don't know what they don't know when they come in. So we do a lot of yoga, meditation, but also presentation skills, workshops around prototyping, project management, non-violent communication, deep democracy, these kind of things.
I think the motivation to start this place was because in the Indian society there's a lot of I think pressure now building up to study, at least do graduation and post graduation, and there's no space in between for people to think. So it's like till the 10th standard you have to do something, then again you have to shift to 11th standard where you have to take up something. So in between there's no gap or no pause to think and reflect what is it that I want to do. So youth are really getting lost, and especially the region I come from, Central India, it's one of the highest it has the highest rate of suicide, the children's suicide, student suicide. So just after the exam and after the results, there are a lot of suicides which happen. So therefore it was a need that there need to be a space where people can come and slow down and learn and do what they want to, and create their own imagine and dream and create their own spaces rather than just jumping onto what the system is wanting them to.
All the people are kind of destined to be the same. So I did completely something else during the 20 weeks that I needed to teach. Then I met a guy who was starting Chaos Pilot in Rotterdam, in the Netherlands. It's a Danish education. I joined them for 2 years, and then after 2 years, Chaos Pilot became official education. And we had 29 students which didn't want to be in an official education. The major starting point is that I see a lot of conditioning happening from age 4, 5, 6 years old until kids who are 20, 23, 24. There's a huge burnout rate in the Netherlands of youth between 28 and 35 years old. It's amazing. And how come? Because they are kind of predestined to do all kind of stuff which they not really want to do, and which is very much not connected to, does it feel true? Does it really feel good what I'm doing? And is it good for me? Because I always say it needs to be it needs to be good for you, because if it's not good for you, it can't be good for the other one or for the environment.
And that's where everything opened up for me. That people could live in different ways than the already prescribed menu. And I could create my own menu. It was very different. And then something happened, this magic happened. I was in this eco-village training course, and I was talking to one of the teachers, and he said there was 2 people that were sick, and we had this attendance thing. And this attendant said, if you miss 25%, more than 25% of the classes, you don't get the certificate. And people were ill, but they still needed to show up for the class, otherwise they wouldn't get the certificate. So this man was kind of like a hero at that time. It was Jonathan Dawson. He said, "No, just you take care of yourselves. I won't count that. If you need to rest, rest. If you want to stay in the room, something will come through in your dreams. Just honor yourself first." And for me, this was radical. This was radical teaching. At the moment, no. And I believe that there are different ways of governing, and that there are governments that do support people's real learning, and they give money, like just spend it in whatever learning that you want. But I also believe in not being dependent on governments, and that there are many other forms of being funded, of being able to realize our projects.
Foi uma opção nossa não ser vinculado para a gente ter mais liberdade em relação ao conteúdo, né? Da pessoa poder escolher o que ela quer estudar na hora que ela quer.
No, my project is not supported by government. मेरा project government supported नहीं है.
No.
No. You said, is it by what?
Government. The government.
No, so there's no connection with the government, no funding from the government.
And then Martin Colby said, "Are you going to India?" I said, "Well, what do I need to do in India?" I said, "Yeah, the ECOVERSITIES. You need to go there." And with Manish, I said, "Okay." So I found my email in the spam.
So why I'm here is like this current education system leading us towards the isolation. And through that isolation, constantly we are living into that scarcity.
Nesse processo que a gente estava de começar o projeto, pesquisar mais sobre universidade e um pouquinho também sobre pedagogia, a gente começou a fazer cursos, né? E um desses cursos a gente encontrou uma mulher que conhecia o Manish. O Manish, ele é um indiano, que ele tem uma universidade livre na Índia. E aí essa mulher contou pro Manish sobre o nosso projeto. E ele gostou bastante e convidou a gente para esse congresso, né?
Só que faltava, tipo, 1 mês, 2 meses para acontecer esse projeto e a gente estava no Brasil e a gente não tinha dinheiro. Então, nós fizemos um projeto de captação que durou 1 mês e pouco e a gente conseguiu ir para a Índia para poder conhecer essas iniciativas, esses projetos com o mesmo objetivo que o nosso, só que já estavam funcionando e alguns até há muitos anos. E foi bom ter visto todas essas iniciativas ao redor do mundo com o mesmo objetivo que o nosso.
Eu estou aqui porque eu preciso de ajuda. Eu preciso de encontrar pessoas que estejam no mesmo curso, na mesma área, que sintam a mesma dor, que é a pressão de produção, usar a educação como produção. Preciso de sentir com eles, preciso de sentir com elas, preciso de me inspirar o que é que está a acontecer, de não me sentir sozinha e preciso de ajuda para criar coisas novas. E nem que seja reconhecer do que o que já está criado é bom o suficiente. E quando não é, de juntarmos a esse movimento para criar, então, o que é que será preciso? O que é que será preciso neste futuro desconhecido, emergente?
Why I'm at Swaraj? Because after my graduation, even I was kind of confused where to head to, and I had taken a gap year. And in that gap year, I did so many things which I couldn't do in the last 20 years. I couldn't even have imagined to do that, and that 1 year kind of shifted my experiences. And at that time, Swaraj was just starting, and the place and the space and the people I felt would give me much more broader perspective of life and much more broader experience of life. And I think that's what made me come here. And I think I've stayed for last 8 years because I think the work here it's kind of self-work also which is happening every day when the learners come and they also kind of transit. It also helps me transit and learn more about myself. And in this gathering, first because I'm also part of the hosting team here at Swaraj, and Swaraj is hosting the event here at this venue. And also because uh, I have been passionate about creating more of such spaces, um, of course here at Swaraj, but also because the learners, when they go out, even I have gone out back to my family and the place where I live, and they kind of, and I have felt sometimes alone because there are not many people there who could support this idea. So just to also get strengthen and strength of the that a new world is possible and people can join in for that too.
The major thing is like, let's see what we can grow together, because like this togetherness, co-creation, seeing like, okay, not from a point of view that it needs to be according to my standards or your standards or other standards or outside standards, but like, okay, when people come together, something emerges. And if you are aware and if you are conscious about what is happening with yourself, then you can also be conscious and see what's happening with the others. And then there's a lot of possibility to grow stuff and to come with new things, to come with new ideas, to come with new projects, to come with and to try out stuff. Like that's also what is happening here. Because it's not good for me, it's not good for you, it's not good for the world. So this connection with yourself, and that's also why the first question at Nomads is, who am I? And the answer differs, of course. There's not one answer. But to have this connection, I think this is one of the most important things. And this is not what they do in regular education.
I have a couple of phrases, and first one is, if you find your harmony internally and externally, you never harm any. And another I love to share is, nature of your mind is keep doubting, but nature of your heart is keep believing. Once you shift from doubt to believe, definitely something unfold for you, for others, and for universe.
I don't have a phrase for you. I hope you find your own phrase, or collection of phrases. But I can share to you two mottos that I really live by in my best. Is if it's not fun, it's not sustainable. You stop doing it. After a while, it becomes a burden. And if it's not truly accessible, then it's not revolutionary. If it's just for a tiny group of people, then it's not really revolutionary.
I think one thing which is coming to my mind right now is there is and there'll always be more to learn, and I think there's no period to, no stoppage to learning.
Helianthus significa girassol em latim. A gente deu esse nome porque o girassol ele sempre se adapta ao ambiente, sempre segue em direção à luz do sol. E a gente quer que a nossa universidade siga o que o mundo está precisando, e não necessariamente o que o mercado de trabalho está precisando ou o que os nossos pais querem. Então, a gente quer algo que se adapte a cada pessoa que entra e a necessidade que está acontecendo, seja mundialmente ou no seu país. E também porque o girassol, quando ele está em um canteiro e um deles está morrendo, um girassol vira para o outro e troca energia entre si para dar vida para o outro. Então a gente não quer um espaço físico, a gente quer essa sensação, esse ambiente de pessoas que se ajude e que siga em direção à luz que quer ir.
Ikua.
E kula na mau.
Ikua.
Ikua huki, ikua ko, ikua amau. Amau kai ulu e huki e